Hey guys, I've decided to start another new series on this channel. Craziness, right? But since I do have a couple videos on college and just college in general, I decided to start kind of a college advice type of thing. And when I say advice, I mean things that I have learned and things that my parents have told me and things that I have found are really true. Now, when I also say advice, you guys can ask me anything, really. Like, if there's something you're confused about that's college related, I mean, I'm going to be a junior, so I'm pretty sure I know a lot by now. But to get into the first episode, I know it's like my own little show, isn't that cute? Anyway, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at this. I wrote down a few little things. But episode 1 of my college advice series is going to be about safety. Now, I live on a type of campus where it's not necessarily spread throughout the city like certain campuses are. It's kind of closer together. However, we are in, I don't want to call it necessarily a rough area because if you're anywhere you go to college, it can be rough in general. But with the safety aspect, what I really want to get you guys to understand is just be smart. Be well aware of your surroundings. Don't just think that you can trust anybody that you meet. You can't. I know that a lot of colleges do alerts where they have a system where you can, I don't have my cell phone on me, but you can sign up, and if something happens on campus, they'll send you a text message letting you know there's been a robbery at such and such street, or and what the suspects look like, or a general description of the suspects. So those are very, very useful tools to have. I recommend if your college provides it, use it. Now, when it comes to, like I said, safety, especially for us women, I don't know how many videos of mine you guys have seen. If you're new, well, then you're going to find this out. I don't play. I don't play, okay? I carry this around with me everywhere I go. And on top of which, I've taken a self-defense class. And I also know how to scream at the top of my lungs. So, if anyone messes with me, I do feel prepared, but anything can happen. I mean, the moment that person notices that you're struggling, I mean, the next thing you know, you could possibly be injured. So I'm not saying that just because I have these things and I know what to do in certain situations, it's always going to work out in my favor. It won't. It may not. So another thing I want to get out to you guys, like I said before, be well aware of your surroundings. Try to eliminate all the distractions that you can. For example, I'm guilty of this. I walk around campus talking on my cell phone. My attention is elsewhere and not on the surrounding area. Now, the one thing I don't do is listen to music while I'm walking around campus. I mean, that in itself, if you can't hear someone coming up on you, especially like let's say you're walking across the street and there's a car coming and they can't stop, but you're listening to your music. Come on now. And plus, my parents also told me, look, I'm the type of person I actually do listen to my parents. Maybe not on everything, but on this one in general, I did listen to them. I don't listen to my iPod or anything unless I'm like in the library or or if I'm in my dorm. I just don't feel, I personally just don't feel comfortable walking around with my earphones in my ear. I really don't. And is there anything else I want to talk about? Be aware of your surroundings. Oh, yeah, another thing. Even though I'm giving you guys all this advice and telling you, you need to be well aware of what's going on, you don't sit there and think that it just won't happen to you. Because like I said, I've got my pepper spray. I told you that I took a self-defense class. Just because I feel prepared doesn't mean like it won't happen to me. Because a lot of times when people say this won't happen, it actually would happen. So keep that in mind. Don't just sit there and think anything like that. Also, when it comes to the whole not trusting anybody, I understand in college, we meet people, we have friends and everything. However, I like to think of it The same way as, let's say you have a child and you're just nervous that that child is going to get hurt by some stranger. A lot of times people who are close to you are more likely to hurt your child. Think of it like that. Now, is that always the case? Of course not. And I know I'm getting into a very touchy subject. However, I've heard just so many stories about, especially young ladies, they're around a group of guys that, they've been friends with for so long, and then all of a sudden these guys go and sexually abuse her, and it's just these things happen. They do. I pray it never happens to me, and I pray it never happens to any of you out there. I really, really hope it doesn't. And is that it? Am I finally finished with this whole safety thing? Right. Oh, another thing I need to get... Okay, for real, this is the last thing. My dorm that I particularly live in on my university campus, and in a whole bunch of other dorms. I don't know if it's all of them on campus, but the ones that are near my building, I know for sure. They have these doors on them that they just recently installed, and it's really the weirdest thing because they always talk about not letting any strange people into the building, but these are the type of doors that will stay open, and if they're open way too long, an alarm will go off. And I'm not kidding you guys. Between the hours of 12 a.m. and, midnight, and 1 a.m., sometime between that time frame, the alarm just kept going off and off and off and off, and I'm sitting there thinking, it's the middle of the night, a strange man could get in and harm someone. And on top of which, be careful with your alcohol consumption. I know I'm not your mother, but if you're drinking, you're in your dorm, you're being careless, some strange person gets in, think about it. Really. This has actually happened. My RAs were talking about how, a couple years ago, a girl got raped, and I pretty much overheard one of the RAs also talking about how a girl actually got raped this past semester. So I just want you guys to really be careful. Remember, just be careful who you hang out with. Keep your guard up. Never let your guard down. Even I forget that sometimes. Sometimes I'm just like walking around and, but just be careful. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You learned something. If you're going off to college in the fall, I don't mean to scare you or anything. You'll be okay, honey. You will. Just remember these tips, and everyone take care. I don't know exactly what episode 2 was going to be about, but I just figured to get safety up there and out of the way. So if I'm not able to figure out what to talk about for episode 2 within the next couple days or so, you guys just start leaving some suggestions and I will definitely get to them. So everyone take care. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later.